Good afternoon. We're out here in front of the Henderson Detention Center here in Henderson, Nevada. We're just outside of Las Vegas. Last Thursday at 3 a.m. in the morning, they moved 6 of our patriots, our political prisoners, from Pahrump, Nevada, and woke them up early. They moved them over here. We've heard some disturbing news today that these 6 men have been in a holding cell for the last 4 days. And I'm going to bring this up several times. This is disturbing to me. We've had all 6 of these men have been held without a shower, a chance to shave. The conditions are not right for people that are preparing for a trial. They're trying to bring these guys down in their spirits, trying to break them, and it's wrong. This kind of information that I've been hearing is disturbing to me, that this is happening in our country, in the United States. How they can detain people without bond, without letting them go home on pretrial release, all because of they're waiting on trial. They're supposed to be presumed innocent. How can they hold these guys for 4 days without a shower, without changing their clothes, without having a chance to shave? Tomorrow morning, they have to be down at the courthouse in Las Vegas, sitting there for the next 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, whatever it takes, while this case is unfolding. This is mentally exhausting. If anybody who has went through a court case, even if it's for a traffic ticket, most people sweat it and are stressed out over whatever situation they are when they're in court before the judge and the prosecutor. These people are professionals at prosecuting people. They've had decades and years of experience prosecuting innocent people. When I was at Pahrump, Nevada last week, I talked to several of the guys in there. One of them was Dave Bundy. He said there's about 96 guys in his pod. 90 of them, he said, are held in there on nonviolent crimes. They are unconstitutional charges. Some of them have been waiting 6 years for trial in a detention facility. These places are nothing but making money off of humans, and it's totally wrong. The guys we have over here, and so I don't get their names right because there's so many names floating around in my mind. We've got Eric Parker, Stephen Stewart, Scott Drexler, Gregory Burson, Todd Engel, and Richard Loveland. Those are the 6 guys that are facing trial tomorrow in Las Vegas. Gregory, I don't know if anybody knows much about him, but Gregory is supposed to be on dialysis. He's has a lot of medical problems, and he's also blind. And he tried to get pretrial release. They wouldn't let a blind guy that's sick on dialysis go home. They're not getting medical treatment. Even out there in Pahrump, the things that are going on out there, the sexual things that have been happening to the guys that they haven't really been talking about are just coming out in the last few days, the allegations there, that these things are happening to these guys, and it's totally wrong. Everybody needs to watch Brianna Bundy's video that she put out last night, talking about this and talking about what happened to Mel Bundy and some of the other guys, stripping them down, almost 100 guys at a time, bringing them out and parading them out in front of the women's area where the women can see them. There's women guards that are doing this, that are involved. It's just totally sick and disgusting that these things are allowed to happen in this country. I have a gentleman here that came all the way from Michigan, Ken Rhodes. Come over here, Ken. I want to introduce you to Ken. Come over here a little bit closer here.
Okay.
Ken here, you said you're 73?
I'll be 73 in May.
73 years old in May. Come over a little bit closer here.
Okay.
He came out to the Bundy Ranch during 2014. He was out there the whole time. He also went to the refuge. He did the march there in town in January. He spent the whole time out there at the refuge during the standoff there, occupation, the protest for the Hammonds. One of the things that was interesting when I talked to him last night, he said when he was at the Bundy Ranch, he had little red dots all over him at one of the times there where they had guns and lasers pointed at him. You want to tell a little bit about that?
Yeah, I was 70 at the time when I went out there, because what they're doing is illegal. They're actually trying to steal our ranchers' land, the farmers' land, and put everybody out of business. But that day, we got lied to that day. The Sheriff Gillespie came over and told us in 1 hour that the BLM was going to leave. We could go get the cattle. So we waited like an hour and 10 or 15 minutes. We went over there. Going up the front gate, they was pointing guns and telling us they was going to shoot us. So we got lied to and set into a trap. And I didn't have any fear, because I don't fear what they can do at my age. I guess you lose the fear, because these people are evil as they come. And you take a guy that's in his 70s, worked all of his life on a ranch, and think you're just going to come out and steal his land. If you think some of the American people are not going to come out, they're going to come out. So they can be as nasty as they want to on this trial. They do nothing that's legal. Our legal system is totally gone, and hopefully Donald Trump settles this.
Well, I appreciate you coming and supporting us for this trial. I appreciate it a lot. We got Joshua Martinez here. We're gonna. He's also out here in support. He's been a fine young man, helping us. He's been visiting some of the guys over there in Prompt. I'm going to let him talk a little bit about some of the situations he's been witnessing here.
All right. Hello, guys. It's me, Joshua Martinez. I saw Brianna Bundy's video yesterday, and some of the things that she was talking about, I've actually witnessed in the county jails here before. So there's a lot of not only sexual harassment that goes on in these facilities, there's also mocking and ridiculing of the inmates, and it's to, just like John Lamb said, it's to kill their spirit, to knock them down. Right now, we're here in trying to restore that natural law, the right for the basic human rights that each one of us deserve. It doesn't matter what race you are, what political party you belong to. The main thing is the basic human rights should be equally guaranteed to all of us, without regard to any of those things. And right now, it's being used to kill their spirit. And I believe what had happened. I believe everything Brianna Bundy said, that Mel Bundy and them witnessed. I'm witnessing little by little that our government is trying to use oppression through different tactics. It doesn't have to be through guns. It doesn't have to be through tasers. It can be just pretty much, what do they call it? Mental warfare. They can try their best to get you down so small, make you feel like you're the size of a gerbil. So you can not put up a fight. That's what they're betting on. And the things that after spending time with John Lamb and Brand Thornton, and seeing the things that have gone on, not only at the Bundy Ranch, but in Oregon, our government is out of control. It's time that we stand up and speak up for our neighbors. Just like Brianna Bundy said, it doesn't matter if you disagree with your neighbor. The principle is what we're after. We have to get out there and speak up for our neighbor, even if they don't like us, even if they disagree with us. Stand up for what's right. It's time that we do that. It's time that we come here, go inside those doors, and start demanding things. Start demanding that they start respecting the human rights of those that they have in custody. That they start respecting that we are actually flesh, blood, and bone. We're individuals, and we deserve to have our rights respected.
And not for long, we're all going to be sitting in there at these detention centers.
Right.
We're all going to be sitting out there at Prump. It's called a correctional center. Our guys are not being corrected yet.
Right.
That's a improper term. They're being held in a correctional section,
Right.
and they haven't even been found guilty yet.
Right. And now we're in that period that our founding fathers warned us about. There will come a day where you will be guilty and have to prove yourself innocent. And this is proof right here.
This is proof.
These guys, I mean, their right to due process is being violated. They have not been granted bail. They're obviously not flight risks. The judge and the government tries to find excuses, and that's what they're good for. That's what they go to law school. They learn to, what they call in law school, to manipulate the fact, to massage the truth. And those things that they learn, they use them on innocent people. Even though they're aimed for the bad guy, they're aimed for the terrorist, they're using them on innocent people like ranchers, people like Pete Santilli who just want to report the truth. They try to shut you down to make you feel scared. So I'm asking some of you that are at your keyboards, holding your phones, stop, put it down, and come with us. Come hang out with us. The more the people, the more the numbers, the government will have to respond. the redress of grievances has to be answered.
It's just like Joe Robertson in Montana.
Oh, yeah.
Over a pond, he's sitting in prison.
Yeah.
There's another guy, his name is Terry Tressel. Terry Tressel. He's sitting in jail in Florida for 9 years. He's a 73-year-old gentleman. He got convicted of jury tampering, and he was on the on the juror as a foreman. So he was the foreman on a grand jury. They called in. He didn't realize he was going to be called up as a grand juror member, and they told him, and he ended up getting picked to be the foreman. He found that the case that the government was presenting, they didn't have no facts, and they found the people that weren't guilty. The indictment didn't happen. The prosecutor ended up pressing charges against him for jury tampering and gave this 73-year-old gentleman 9 years in jail. We're seeing this with like the Holmes case. Christian and Daniela Holmes out of Alabama. They've got their baby's been taken away for 4 months, 4 solid months now, just because they refused to get a social security number, a birth certificate, which isn't even required by law.
Right.
The hospital's trying to force these things. Then the social services in the state take it into their own hands and confiscate a baby for the baby's safety. I don't see how this is for the baby's safety at all. I've never had a social security number. I'm 44 years old. And I don't see what I'm missing out on, is what I told one person the other day.
It's just it's to keep us in that system. Once you start stepping out of that, then they're going to start attacking you. If you start questioning, well, what is a birth certificate for? What is a social security for? They're going to start trying to drill you and take away what's yours, whether it's your children, your home, your other property that you have. Basically, what we have are laws being written to benefit the ones who have the authority to throw us in cages. They're not written to benefit we the people. It's our duty to start learning about these things. Just like John Lamb just mentioned those cases. I'm sure not everyone, I can ask some of my close friends if you heard about those cases, but just because it's not on MTV or ETV, you guys don't know about it. These kind of things are important. You got to go out and look for them. That's why we're here trying to get these things exposed. I think it's really important that you guys go and look these people up and give your own opinion, read about it, articulate your own opinion on it, and get out and speak.
It's going to take dozens of people, like all the people that joined us here today and is joining us at court tomorrow, to start standing up. We're not going to do this from home. These phone calls are great, these letters are great, but we're going to have action. People out here talking and yelling and being principled. That what we want is we want a just court system. We want the Constitution back, where that these men have rights and that are able to represent themselves properly. We also have Brand Thornton here. Brand's came all the way out here today. He's been a part of this all along, from the Bundy Ranch also, all the way through the refuge. And so he's another person who's been witnessing this injustice that's been happening.
Well, everybody, just look. Henderson Detention Center. That's not home. And our patriots need to go home. I mean, this is a sad state of affairs. You've heard everything that's been said so far, how they're being abused, sexually harassed. Can you imagine that? These are family men. These are family men. Okay, they are dedicated to their families, dedicated to their wives. And, you know, these are not the type of people that would cheat on anybody. Okay, they will not cheat on their wives, and yet here they're being subjected to something that's completely contrary to their belief system. So this is really disgusting. You know, it's not something to be laughed at or to be taken lightly. You know, the fact of the matter is, you have people in there also who are taking a paycheck to oppress our brothers and sisters and our fellow man. A paycheck. That's it. And they will always do what they feel is in their best interest. The only way that we can straighten them out, straighten their heads out, is we got to get people involved. And because they're always going to do their job no matter how bad it is. You know, they could tomorrow do the same thing they just did. Take them out and parade them naked in front of the other inmates, the females and women. It's like we got company. But that's okay. So, yeah, this could happen all over again. And I actually expect there's going to be these abuses all along the line.
There's more that we're not even talking about that isn't appropriate to probably even bring up here. But these things are going to be coming out. The more and more this comes out, we're already got some suits that are going to be filed because of this stuff, and this we don't want to see this happening to the other people. That's what we're saying. This is what the Bundys have been saying. That's what everybody says. Jason Patrick and all these guys, Dwayne Emmer, all these guys that have been saying and standing all along. We don't want this injustice to keep happening to you and your children. It's time for this kind of stuff to stop.
Stop.
It definitely is.
And if we don't do it, nobody else is going to do it. We can't leave it up to the president. I think we can work with him, but ultimately we are the ones that are responsible. Ultimately, we have the power and the authority. The people are actually the fourth branch of the government.
Exactly.
And as long as we want the right things and we push hard enough for them, we will get those things done. So this has gotten ridiculous. I mean, it's been ridiculous. If you think for 1 second this isn't going to stop, you're sadly mistaken. I predict it's even going to get worse because the government's losing on every end. And these people, they're involved. All your judges, your corrupt politicians, they're all involved in this together. And they know that if they lose, they're going to go down. So they're going to do everything they can to win these trials. So come on, people, let's get involved.
So for some of you just joining us and trying to figure out what's going on, several of us guys came out here today because we was hearing some calls about how 6 of the guys that have been transferred from Prump, Nevada to face trial tomorrow in Las Vegas, they got brought out here to Henderson Detention Center, and they're being held out here. I understand maybe throughout the trial or off and on. It's a little closer than Prump, so the transportation is closer to the courthouse, and from the courthouse to Prump is approximately 80 miles. It takes an hour and a half, 2 hours to drive back and forth one way, and so they moved them a little closer. Since Thursday morning at 3 a.m., they woke the guys up, loaded them up, they brought them out here to Henderson, and since Thursday until today, they've been held in a small cage confinement area without shower, without shaving, and without any type of proper cleaning stuff. So they haven't had a shower or a shave since last Thursday. And they have trial tomorrow morning. They'll be woke up, Ammon Bundy, Ryan Bundy, and them, when they went to trial there in Portland, just to go from across the street, they would wake them up 5 hours earlier before court to transport them over there. This here is probably, 30, 40 minutes into court? Mm-hmm. So about just a half hour. So I'm going to guess they will get them up at 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock every single day, transport them into court to sit there all day in shackles while we're going through this trial for the next 4 to 6 weeks. These men have not been found guilty yet. They've been sitting in jail for almost a year as innocent men until they're proven guilty. They're in shackles. They're away from their families. The inhumane treatment they've been getting, no showers, and in dirty clothes for a week at a time. This is not America. This is not how you treat innocent people. The money they spend on these jails, and the taxpayers are always complaining about how much money it's costing to house these people. That money is being embezzled into politicians. That's where the money's not going to treat the prisoners right. The politicians and people in control of these jails are pocketing money and getting rich off of humans. They're not feeding. They spend money to try to figure out how poor to make the food. Ryan Bundy the other day said he thinks they spend more money to feed you something that's horrible than something that's good. So this injustice has got to stop. I want to introduce you to another guy here that came over. Thanks, Brian. Laz. Everybody knows Laz. They've seen him lots of times. He's helped us out in Portland a lot and all over the place. He's from Florida. Yeah. He's an awesome guy. He's been a whistleblower. He's bringing out as much information as he can on the injustice that's going on, and let you tell some stuff here.
So, good afternoon, everyone. This came out of short notice. Coming down here and teaming up with John Lamb and Shauna Cox. Unfortunately, this should not be a surprise. This psychological warfare should not be a surprise of what's happening here in the Henderson or within the de facto government. obviously we got criminals like Harry Reid, dirty ass politician, that should be behind bars. Him and his son Rory Reid and Neil Cronzy from the BLM. I mean, they should be a prime example of why they should exchange, I believe. The Bundys come over here and have those criminals inside and get the same treatment.
Dan Love.
Daniel P. Love, the punk with the badge and the gun. Now, let me say this. I am here, and I am here for one reason. I'm going to finish this, and I'm going to finish it. I'm going to finish it real quick with Christine Navarro. All right? Christine Navarro, you are not immune for your criminal activity behind the bench. Well, I will see you Monday, and you're going to see the face Monday when I'm going to see you in the eyes. I don't care how many badges and guns. Guess what? I am not going to disrupt your courtroom, actually the people's courtroom, but I will expose you for your criminal activity. This is why I'm here, John Lamb. The other thing with regards to Rory Reid, Harry Reid, Leaf Reid, and Neil Crones, I'm going to show you how they defrauded the people from Nevada. 80% of the lands that the federal de facto government has stolen from the people and from the state so they can run their own personal monopoly. Basically like a mafia. So that'll be coming out shortly. And this is why the psychological warfare is happening. This is why Christina Navarro is preventing people from going out, especially the gentleman with diabetes or dialysis,
yes,
and that's half blind, Gregory Burleson. I mean, this should not be a surprise, but they want to psychologically break our men down. And these criminals, because that's what she is a criminal, Christina Navarro, you are a criminal behind a robe that's acting lawlessly. Just like Anna J. Brown and just like Anna Akins, you guys need to be in front of Congress explaining your criminal activities. This is why Chafin should conduct an investigation on these criminals. Now, with respect to the Harry Reid, because we got to go back, I'm going to present laws on how he came with the Butte S-198 and S-199 and all the minerals that were behind that. And then the studies back when he joined Las Vegas University and when he started a geology program. I'm going to bring dates. I'm going to bring the times. I'm going to bring all the politicians, the Los Angeles University, how they got bought and paid for by using the American taxpayers' money so these criminals can profit. And this is sickening. This is why they want the Bundy Ranch. This is why they're psychologically trying to break these men down. It's saddened me. This is a burden on the taxpayers, but most of all, it's unconstitutional.
Right.
And when is the American people going to end up standing up and exercising the Declaration of Independence about what our founding fathers wrote? This is why the Declaration of Independence was written prior to the Constitution.
Keep tyrants like this from
tyrants,
being in power.
criminals. Like, I'm going to say Harry Reid, Rory Reid, Leaf Reid, all part of the American Bar Association. Anna Akins, Anna J. Brown, Sharon L. Gleason, all part of the American Bar Association. Ron Wyden, Gordon Smith, Greg Walden, all part of the American Bar Association. I mean, and you got the public pretenders and also the prosecutors, all those criminals, because that's what they are, criminals violating their constitutional right, violating the Bill of Rights, violating the Federalist Papers, and violating the United States Constitution, Article 6, Section 2, Clause 2. So, I mean, you have all these criminals that with suits and ties that are worse than the mafia, because these guys make their own laws. And then they think that we should be sitting behind the bench, and while with the robes and all that, and presiding over these cases, make them better or holy than any other man. If anything, their criminals should be next to Hillary Clinton wearing black and white stripes.
Yes, exactly.
So, this is why I'm here. The documents will be coming out. I will be teaming up with John Cox, John, like we did last time with regards to Oregon. We're going to bring all this together, and this information is going to be extremely vital for not just the people in Nevada, but for the people of the United States of America, yes, all 50 states. How the BLM, the Bureau of Land Management, with the Department of Fish and Wildlife and the EPA, has ruined families, ruined hard-working ranchers that have provided a daily means for the American people. When we look at the produce that they produce, the dairy, the beef. I mean, these people are destroying our food supply, but at the same time destroying the hard-working rancher's life and their family. So at the same time using our tax dollars to destroy these families. So this has to come to an end. And I hope that our patriots will stand strong and And God bless them. God bless them for what they stood for. And I praise them. And you know what? And my prayers are with them and their family. So I want to say thank you to you guys. And I look forward to bringing this presentation and all this information out here shortly in the near future. And I want to say thank you, John. I appreciate the invitation.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely. And God bless America.
So we want to
Leo.
tell you tomorrow we're going to have court starting down there in jury selection in Las Vegas. It's going to start at 9 o'clock. I invite everyone that can to come down and support us. Be court observers. Come in and listen to what's going on. Witness this injustice. Make record of it. That way we've got people that know it happened, and we can put a stop to this, because we're going to put a stop to this. This is wrong, and injustice is being done to these 19 guys that are being held here in Nevada. We've got another trial coming up the following week, starting for some more of our patriots there in Oregon. We know that Jason Patrick, Dwayne Emmer, and Jake Ryan need your support over there. So we're going to have you another update a little bit later on the day. I don't know exactly what time, but we're heading back over to the Trump Tower. We're going to be passing out constitutions, jury nullifications out front there. We're going to try to do a survey and ask some questions of the people that are walking by. Get some input from the public here on what's going on, and try to educate them about this upcoming trial in Nevada. We want to know how many people really know about this case. How well has this been misrepresented by the media, by the false media, the fake news? We want the truth to be out there. That's all we want, is to be able to tell our side of the story, and in court be able to let the jurors listen to the full story and the full truth without it being hidden. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll have another live stream shortly over at the Trump Tower, and you can witness us passing out jury nullifications and constitutions. And thank you again, and God bless. Again, this is the Henderson Detention Center over here in Henderson, Nevada. God bless and thank you.